Um, what do you learn about yourself during the quarantine?
Well, it's funny. I am an extrovert, so I love to be with people. I get energy from being with people. And during the quarantine, I spent so much time with my wife and my son, and I got, you know, I had wonderful, deep conversations with my son. And, he was always going off and playing sports, and I was busy being governor. And we spent more time this spring together, probably in 4 months than we would spend in a whole year. And our relationship got so much deeper and more meaningful. And I feel so blessed to have such a wonderful son. And I don't know, I knew how wonderful he was, but to have that relationship deeper and richer and better was a gift from God, a true joy.
So what kind of food do you prefer for eating?
I love everything. I love simple foods, like an omelet for breakfast, or sometimes just oatmeal with fruit, like papaya or raisins in the oatmeal. But I also like different world food. When I first got married, we went for our luna de miel to Oaxaca. And so we would take Spanish lessons in the morning. And then in the afternoon, 3 afternoons a week, we would go out to one of the teachers, gave cooking classes in her little home up on the hill. Very dense, favela with many people all living side by side. But so I learned how to cook mole. So I can cook 5 different types of mole. I'm not saying it, I'm not sure you could serve it in a restaurant, but my friends like it. Anyway, I think that being able to cook food from different countries is a way of visiting other countries and a way of getting to know the people of those countries.
And then, but if you need to cook anything, what do you like to cook at home for your family?
So probably my most favorite thing is just there's a way of cooking. We call it cheesy eggs, but it's just scrambled eggs with cheese and some. I fry up some onions and just a little bit of garlic, but use Swiss cheese with eggs, and you cook that under a very low temperature, so it cooks very slowly, and you mix in the cheese, so it's sort of like an omelet, but sort of like scrambled eggs. But it's, I love it really because my wife loves it. So when I make it for my wife, I'm a hero. So that makes me love it, of course.
Now we need to put you in problems. What sport do you like to follow?
Because it depends on the time of year.
Because you were the mayor of a city with a baseball team, football, American football, and basketball and hockey. So what do you choose?
It depends on the season. Right now, I'm very excited about the Denver Nuggets. And my son Teddy had 2 friends over this last Tuesday night, and we watched. I only got to see the last quarter, but when they came back in the 7th game against the Clippers, so exciting and such a great basketball team. But I also love the Colorado Rockies, and I try to watch. Usually, of every game, I can only watch 1 inning or 2 innings, and usually I turn the sound off and I'll be making a phone call, but I'm still los ojos on the game. And of course now the Broncos. The Broncos, in the end, the Broncos have always been, a little bit ahead of everybody else, just because, the Broncos are such a big part of our sports energy here and have been for a long, long time.
Could you mention one Republican friend?
Oh my gosh, I've got many Republican friends. I probably shouldn't say that on television, but I think after the election is over, we're all working for the same effort. We're all trying to find ways to create progress for the people of Colorado. So Blair Richardson is an old friend of mine who's a significant business leader here in Colorado. you know, he's a Republican, but he's very focused on, you know, creating an expanding economy that will help everyone. And again, the people that I work with most successfully are the folks that really do care about a rising tide that raises the economy and raises everything for the whole community, for everyone.
Governor, 8 years ago, you pronounced the phrase, "Don't break out the Cheetos." Is there any current situation that you can apply this phrase at this moment?
You know, I think maybe our campaign, everybody's very excited, but there's a long way to go. And I think this election is going to be very close, both for President Biden and for myself. And I want to make sure that I urge everyone to vote, to make sure you're registered and when you get your ballot in the mail, there are drop-off boxes all over the city and all over the state of Colorado. So I want to make sure people put their ballots in the drop boxes, or if they're going to mail them, get them in the mail right away, because the mail has obviously been very slow. So the first choice is to have people put their ballots in a voting box, drop box. But if they can't do that, they can bring it down to their polling place at any time, or they can go and they can put a stamp or 2 stamps on it and put it in the mail. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great to see you.